Today we're looking at Magic the Gathering cards that broke the color pie. We're gonna start the conversation off with Feed the Swarm. It's a black card for 1 black, 1 generic. Sorcery. Destroy target creature. Alright, so far on flavor, but... Or... enchantment and opponent controls. Enchantment destruction in black? That's broken! You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Now, historically, black was, like, not great or even good at, like, removing artifacts. There was usually some gigantic cost to it. But in order to destroy an enchantment, that's just not something that they would ever do. Until, what is the year? The year is 2022, and black can finally get rid of them enchantments. Finally, Circle of Protection black. Not going to do anything for them anymore. It took, how many years? Almost 30 years. Almost 30 years for black to have some enchantment removal. And you know what? I like how you're thinking, Liquid Soulfly, because my next example was Psionic Blast. Now, this is an old school card before they even had a color pie to break. But it was a blue 2 generic instant. Deals 4 damage! Doesn't matter how expensive this is. Blue, dealing damage. Who's the burn player now? Huh? Red deck. Deals 4 damage to target creature or player and 2 damage to you. So a little bit of a downside. You know, not to mention, you know, it is 4 mana. But it's 4 damage. Still, sorry, 3 mana for 4 damage. We got... Oh yeah, Mana Tithe. So by the way, if anyone doesn't know what the flavor of this show is, maybe if I wasn't specific, each color has its own abilities, like white has life gain, and blue counter spells draw cards, black destroys things and rips cards out of your hand. Green, by today's standard, does everything. If there's something that it doesn't do, then whatever. Green is like a wild card. And white, you know, destroys creatures, exiles stuff, gains life. That's their flavor. And we are looking over cards that they normally wouldn't do it, but they do it now. So Mana Tithe, 1 white, counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. 4 spike, but in white. White doesn't counter spells, or not really. They tax things. They're a taxer, not a counterer. Looks like a taxing card anyway. Abzo with the Prodigal Sorcerer. They had a lot of yeah. Blue back in the day dealt a lot of damage. Wow, they reprinted this thing by today's standards. Blue 2 generic, 1/1. Deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Isn't there like a lot of red cards that do the same thing? Exact same stats. Like a red 2 generic, 1/1. Infernal Pinger. What else do we got here? Seraph says, Withering Boon. What is that? By the way, outside of, like, I think the Prodigal Sorcerer and Sonic Blast, is there any other blue direct damage spells or abilities? I don't know. That's like that's like really old. Before they decide, okay, blue is not allowed to do this anymore. Okay, Withering Boon. 1 black, 1 generic. Pay 3 life. Counter target summon spell. I can't remember. I think black had some countering back in the day, and then they just got rid of it. You know, black and blue, weirdly enough, are allies. The intellectuals of Tolarian had no problem being friends with, like, Liliana of the Necromancy. I hope that made a whole lot of sense that I said, because I'm not really familiar with the lore. So it made some sense in my mind that black can counter stuff. And I think a long time ago here in Mirage, they said, yeah, you can... Actually, hold on, this is weird. This is such a weird card. Look, it's an instant with the activated ability of paying 3 life, counter target summon spell. The card doesn't make sense. This looks like an AI generated card by today's standards. Alright, I cast this instant, and while it's on the stack, I'm gonna pay 3 life, counter target summon spell. Can only activate its abilities while on the stack. Okay, what does this card actually say? As an initial cost to cast this spell, pay 3 life. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Counter target creature spell. Alpha Nerd! Thank you very much for the super chat. Death Grip. Oh, what do we got here for Death Grip? Black, black. Again, it's an enchantment counter target green spell. Yeah, black don't counter no more. They did back in the day. They did back in the day. I guess it's fine if it's against the colors. David Soroka with the super chat. Thanks so much. Avoid Fate. Counter target instant or aura spell that targets a permanent you control. You know what? I think this is fine. This is like a protection spell. Oh no, do you know what? No, it's not fine. Okay, so green is more like, these days, give hexproof, give shroud, effectively countering spells. This was just literally countering spells. Yeah, this goes against the color pie of green. Green don't got a lot of counter spells. By not a lot, it might be just Avoid Fate. Pay a green counter target instant or aura spell that targets a permanent you control. Arikusu with the super chat. Thanks so much. Does Dash Hopes break a color pie? Let's ask the coffee crew. Dash Hopes. What do you guys think? Black, black. When you play Dash Hopes, any player may pay 5 life. If a player does, counter Dash Hopes. Counter target spell. I think this breaks the color pie. I have to admit, if a color needs to do something that they don't normally do, the cost is usually super high. And in this case, it does. But it's still countering spells. Dash Hopes is in my Legacy deck. All right, Cosmic Seeds. With the 8.5 Sulphurous Springs and Foil. Neat, interesting avatar. Levy with the Mind Bomb. Kablooey! Oh, it's literally a bomb on a missile. A little disgusting in my opinion. All right, it's gonna blow your mind. We paying a blue for a sorcery. Mind Bomb deals 3 damage to each player. Each player may choose and discard up to 3 cards to prevent that amount of damage to him or her from Mind Bomb. Wow! Do people know this card exists? It deals 3 damage to each player. It's effectively like a lightning bolt, but it deals damage to you. There's so many situations they cannot discard the 3 cards. This is as good as like, what's the red mana card? Lava Spike. This is as good as a blue Lava Spike. That also deals damage to you. But yeah, I had no idea this card existed. Actually, it looks somewhat playable. Not in Commander, but I'm thinking one-on-one Magic. Mind Bomb used to be a regular card you used in the 90s. Because they didn't have it. If you wanted to be a burn deck, I mean, you probably had to play this card. You had to do it. Really old cards are basically throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. Yeah, this doesn't feel good. Alright, this feels good. And then at some point they're like, okay, everything feels good for green. When's green gonna get its discard? When's that gonna happen? We did Mana Tithe already. Abzo with the temporal extortion. Just temporarily. Black, 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 black. Sorcery. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of stuff from Planar Chaos today. When you play Temporal Extortion, any player may pay half of his or her life. Round it up. If a player does, counter Temporal Extortion. Take an extra turn after this one. Since when was black very good at taking extra turns? They're good at card draw, they're good at killing things, and they're good at discard. Hurricane. Actually, I think Hurricane is on flavor. Because it's killing, green is all about destroying flying things for one reason or another. There's a million of those types of cards, so actually I do not think this qualifies whatsoever. Spirit Squad is like, Mind Bomb? That reminds me of blue-red Flying Men tempo decks in 93-94. Oh, do they still play this card? They still unlock the Mind Bomb? This is gonna blow your mind. Why haven't more people made memes out of this card? Tsunami? What's Tsunami? Destroy all island. Green blows up lands. I don't think this one qualifies either. Green has a lot of land destruction. And this is just a hate card. Totally within Red Elemental Blast. Now that... You know what? Now that I think about it, this card probably does break the color pie. Red doesn't really... Does red counter stuff? I don't think so. And I don't think red actually destroys anything. And even though this is like a hate card against blue, red doesn't do this stuff, do they? But they just gave it to them and we just sort of live with it. We're just like, okay, this is fine. This is just part of Magic the Gathering. But then when we really think about it, red Elemental Blast does break the color pie, in my opinion. All right, what do we got next? We got David's back with another Super Chat Seed Time. Oh, this is the green draw card. Yeah, that breaks the color pie. Green, 1 generic, play Seed Time only during your turn. Take an extra turn after this one if an opponent played a blue spell this turn. I think this card's great. Super underrated, only $11. Get your Seed Times. Whoop, can I show you the price? I can't, just gotta trust me, it's $11. American dollars. So don't be complaining that it looks more expensive in Canadian. Do we do Harmonize yet? I don't even know if Harmonize even breaks the color by today's standards. Because it's green, 2 generic, draw 3 cards. But green just draws cards now. So I don't know if this one counts. Like, name me, like, there are so many green cards now. Just like enter the battlefield, draw a card. You know, you can look at Elder Gargroth and think that one breaks the color pie. A long time ago, green wasn't supposed to draw cards. But now green just draws cards arbitrarily for whatever reason they want. Makes no sense to me. I think they gotta take the card draw out of green. It's a bunch of nonsense. That used to be a blue thing. Yeah, green does everything today. The color pie just sort of, green just started to absorb the powers of everyone else around in that color pie. King Ginger with Amnesia. Actual Amnesia. Blue, 3 generic, sorcery. Target player reveals his or her hand and discards all non-land cards. Wow. Also, I've never heard of this card. This guy has a hole in his head. And a bunch of piercings. Oh, maybe that's the whole idea. You're going to have a new piercing over here. A beautiful big ring going straight through that hole. Okay, anyway, yeah, that totally breaks the color pie big time. The big whammy. We looked at Harmonize. I don't think Harmonize, honestly, I don't think, okay, you guys have a vote whether this breaks the color pie or not. Do you think Harmonize breaks the color pie or that's within the color pie of green now? I just think that's a green thing. Even if it's not on a creature or anything like that. Green does draw some cards. I think green draws a lot of cards. It's all pure card draw. Anyway, thank you very much for the super chat, Eric Kusu. I really appreciate it. We got the Blue Bomber with the Phyrexian Tribute. Pay tribute. Black 2 generic sorcery. Sacrifice 2 creatures. Destroy target artifact. Black does a little bit of artifact destruction. Not much. Just a little teeny weeny amount. Just a teeny weeny amount. Usually you have to like... It's a huge cost, but obviously this is not something that they normally do. Burning Paper Sun with a Fog Bank. Is this not a blue thing? I never thought about that. Blue 1 generic, flying defending wall. Prevent all combat damage that we dealt to and dealt by Fog Bank. If that's not a blue thing, what is that? Is it a white thing? I never really looked at this. I can't tell. I can't tell whatsoever. The color pie was made to be broken. You could say that. You would most definitely see it. Nah, Fog Bank is hella white, says Spirit Squad. All right, I'll accept it then. Diego with the Flowstone Infusion. What the hell is this? Red instant. Target creature gets +2/-2 until end of turn. Oh yeah, that's a bit weird. That's like a sort of a black thing to do, isn't it? Red does give you a little bit of buff, like +2/+2, +1/+1. Usually with something else, like you get haste, you get first strike, or there's a lot of +2/+0 stuff or +3/+0 stuff. But giving it a minus feels a little bit more black to me. Kill the damn creature. What's with why I want to do greater good? I don't remember this card. Greater good. Green, 2 generic. Sack a creature. Draw cards equal to the sack creature's power, then discard 3 cards. I don't get... Look, but for the last, like, 15 years, green has been able to draw cards. Like, this is just a green thing, in my opinion. I don't know why you guys are freaking out that green is drawing cards. This is just what they do. This isn't even that old of a card. This is like a very... it's like 9th edition. So they knew what they were doing with the color pie at the time, in my opinion. All right, we're going to look at more cards that break the color pie. But if you want to buy them cards, you know where to get them from. FusionGamingOnline.com. This is not the deal of the week. This is the old deal of the week. New deal of the week, 15% off all gaming accessories. Also, if you want to get them color pie breaking singles, you know what to do. You use coupon code Nikachu at checkout for 5% off all your purchases, and it supports the channel. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place for getting your competitive edge on Magic Online. Prepare for your next Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Standard tournament. Oh, but you can play Standard on Magic the Gathering Online. Get them cards real cheap, because no one wants to play Standard online, except for some people that refuse to play on Arena. But there's enough people to get your practice on, and you rent the cards with Mana Traders. Don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu_EK2 for 10% off all your for 2 months. 2-month subscription. And now back to them color pie. What do we got going on over here? We got Josh. Josh with a super chat. Essence Warden. Oh yeah. Hold on, it's a copy of a card, but I don't really see it as breaking the color. Or what do you guys think? Does Essence Warden break the color pie? Green gains a life, right? Remember Stream a Life? This is totally a green thing. They gain life. I think it's hard for green to break the color pie, to be honest. Anyway, this is turned from like MTG cards that break the color pie to me rating cards that break the color pie. Rental Guy. What about Clothis? Ooh, that's an interesting one. It's indestructible. That is a green-red thing. But you can exile cards from the graveyard. If it was a land, you had green. If it's something else, you gain 2 life and deal 2 damage to each opponent. I think it is just within the color pie. It is a bit weird that this green-red card gets to exile. Like, red doesn't exile anything from the graveyard. Green does, like, I think a little bit of it. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Alright, Kusu, thanks so much for the super chat. Dreamscape Artist. Maybe today's topic is difficult. Blue 1 generic for a 1/1 human spell shaper. Pay a blue 2 generic, tap, discard a card, sacrifice a land, switch your library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Absolutely. That totally breaks the color pie. Blue, don't do that. What is this, like a Primeval Titan? This is a weird tutor effect. Sacrifice a land to look for... It's like ramp, too. This breaks on so many levels. You're tutoring into play, lands. In fact, and you're also ramping. I think this breaks on all levels. Weird card. Doesn't feel blue at all. Yeah, this is just Harrow. Harrow on a blue creature. How does Warping Whale break the color pie? It's colorless. I don't even know what is even the essence of colorless. It exiles creatures with power 1 or less. I mean, I think this is a very colorless card, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe the countering the sorcery thing is weird. I think the exiling small creatures is fine, because it's big creatures versus small creatures. I think the Scion token is fine. The countering target spell thing, I'll give you that. 1 out of 3. I don't know why colorless cards are supposed to be able to counter stuff. Especially sorcery stuff. Alright, next we got Recall. One of a kind effect in blue, I think. Recall. the OG I don't even know what this card is. Blue XX. Discard X cards, then return a card from your graveyard to your hand. For each card, discard this way. Exile, recall. I'll take it. I don't think blue brings back cards from their graveyard to their hand very often, if ever. If ever. We did Dash Hopes, I believe. I think we did Dash Hopes already. Spielleiter, Loyal Sentry, weird white double death touch. We got 1 white, 1/1. When Loyal Sentry blocks a creature, destroy that creature and Loyal Sentry. Actually, this is a bit of a weird card, but isn't there a card from Arabian Nights that's very similar to this? I think it's very similar. It's like a rare mechanic of we both go down together. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that up to you. I don't know if this counts. I think this is like what other color what color are they borrowing this ability from? Is a good question. Are they borrowing this from blue? No. Are they borrowing this from red? No. Are they borrowing this from black? No. I don't think they're borrowing this from anything. I think this is a very white thing. There is like I can't remember what the guy from Arabian Nights was called, but there was it Abu? Am I thinking of Abu? Abu! If Abu Jafar is put into the graveyard from play during combat, bury all creatures blocking or blocked by Abu. That's what it was. It's all about Abu. So it's just a modern day Abu. Epicness asks, what song is this? It is Animal Crossing's 1 PM City Folk. So we got Zararthur. Green draw is or should be attached to green things. Units, stats, lands matter stuff. Free draw on green is, or at least should be, scarce or even. Oh, I see. So card draw on a creature, that is okay, but harmonize no good. Is that what we're going with? So harmonize this be bad. This break the color pie is what you're telling me. Okay, I'll get behind that. I'll get behind that. What? Cinder Cloud. Look up the Cinder Cloud. Red, 3 generic, instant. Destroy target creature. If a white creature is put into the graveyard in this way, Cinder Cloud deals to that creature's controller an amount of damage equal to that creature's power. Yeah, hold on. Does red destroy anything? Maybe not. Now that I think about it, and it's like it's an ally with black, but they don't really have destroy target anything. It's just, deal this much damage. I'll accept it. At this point, the color pie doesn't even apply to. Yeah, in my opinion, it doesn't. Watch out. Hey, this is actually true. Epicness, Pongify. I will definitely accept this one. Blue instant, destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Its controller creates a 3/3 green ape creature token. There are like a few things that destroy stuff, but it's all the same. Like if you destroy anything in blue, you got to get a creature. It's like sort of a weird way of transforming something. You transform the creature into an ape. You dirty ape. But anyway, yeah, destroy target creature. Not many destroy cards. Like, what is it? 3? Maybe 2? Not many. Very, very low. Yawat, the phasing of Zalafir. This breaks the color pie? Read ahead. Okay, so anyway, it's a blue, 2 generic enchantment. Another target non-land permanent phases out. That's totally blue. And then destroy all creatures. Ah, that is not very blue. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 2/2 black Phyrexian creature token. Maybe they're going to lean harder into this destroy all stuff, replace it with a bunch of weird creature stuff. But at the moment, I accept this. Totally accept it. Miri's Guide says World Wander Studios. Miri's Guide. A brainstorm every turn. Miri's... Oh, sorry. Guile. Not Guide. Mino, read cards. Green enchantment. During your upkeep, you may look at the top 3 cards of your library and put them back in any order. That I'll accept. That's a very, 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 very blue ability. Also something that green did not copy all that much going on to the future. They decided, you know what? Green could be a lot in the color pie. It's not going to have this. It's effectively like a Sensei's Divining Top in green. Very, very, very blue. Isn't Pongify supposed to represent a polymorph style spell, which is arcane magic, therefore a blue effect? Yeah, but like... You know what? I would accept it a little bit more if they exiled the thing. It's just still, blue doesn't destroy much. It's just, blue is not a destroying thing. Like, if they exiled the creature, I think it would be more acceptable because it's like they replaced the creature with what's in play. But if you destroy it, technically the creature goes to the graveyard. You could reanimate it, put it back on the battlefield, and it's like, what? Are there two different beings? The same being is on the battlefield, but in two different forms. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? I did not talk to you, Siri. I did not talk to you. What else do we have here? Glacial Michael says glacial crevices. Red 2 generic enchantment. Sack a snow mountain. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. We're stealing their fogs. Red is stealing green's fog. I didn't know it was worth stealing. Whatevers. that really breaks the color, but that was back in Ice Age. Those were the Ice Age days. The Wild West of Magic the Gathering. The Blue Bomber is back. Patron of the Moon. Patron of the Moon, blue, 5 generic for a 5/4 spirit. Moon Folk Offering. You may play this card anytime you could play an instant by sacking a Moon Folk. Okay, anyway, flying. Pay 1. Put up to 2 land cards from your hand into play tap. That is not a blue thing to do. They're not good with lands. They don't do anything with lands. I guess you have to spend... This is a bit of a weird card because you have to spend 7 mana in order to, like, put land cards from your hand into play tapped. Like, how many lands do you have in this deck? That's crazy. Okay, Cosmic Seeds trying to get in Fisher. Destroy target creature or land. It can't be regenerated. Truth be told, red destroys lands. They don't destroy creatures, so I'll give you partial credit for this one, but they do destroy lands. I guess I could give you just full credit. Why is it called Kongify? Oh. Instead of Pongify, Kongify? Yeah, I don't know why it's not called Kongify. Alright, it's a new nickname that has just been invented on this show. The Monocle Rogue. What is this? Unyaro Beasting? Unyaro Beasting for a green 3 generic sorcery. It deals 2 damage to target creature or player. That is not a green thing to do. No, they don't have any direct damage spells. Breaks Color Pie. David Soroka with Desert Twister. Green 4 generic, destroy target permanent. I guess, maybe, sort of, I guess. Actually, do you know what? I don't feel it. I feel like green can do this. If green has enough power, it can blow up anything. I guess it's just a weird that it can kill a creature, because green destroys artifacts, enchantments, lands. I guess it's a bit weird that can destroy, like, a planeswalker or a creature. But it's not outside of, I think, of the possibility if you spend enough mana on it. Alright, what else do we got here? What was that? Withering Bone. From Mark Zilla. Black. Oh, we did this one. We did this one. Yeah, totally breaks the color pie. Also just breaks the rules of Magic. Pay 3 life. An activated ability on an instant. Get out of here. Just get out of here. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people mention Sylvan Library, so You all get credit, not just PM. Anyone who mentioned Sylvan Library. Yeah, this is not very green, is it? Okay, 1 green, 1 generic. At the beginning of your draw step, you may draw 2 additional cards if you do. So you basically sort of brainstorm every turn. Choose 2 cards in your hand, draw on this turn. For each of those cards, pay 4 life or put the card back on top of your library. Not at all within green's color pie whatsoever. Yeah, it's it's non-creature perms usually. All right, we get back to Desert Twister. Okay, I'll give you Desert Twister because it can kill the creatures. Connor with the unstable mutation. This is a weird card. Wow, they reprinted it a million times. A blue +3/+3 aura. So completely not within blue's wheelhouse whatsoever. They don't do that. Blue don't get bigger. We'll just put it that way. At the beginning of the upkeep of the enchanted creature's controller, put a -1/-1 counter on that creature. How unstable that mutation is. The flavor is good. They hit the flavor hard that time. We did Prodigal Sorcerer. Tabernacle, land that eats up mana instead of produces mana. We could say that about a lot of cards. Tabernacle. You could say that. Now, they actually just stone cold stop making lands that don't add mana because of the flavor. Like, it's just not flavorful. Because they used to, a long time ago, they had a lot of lands like this. This one's even worse. All creatures have at the beginning of your upkeep, sack this creature unless you pay 1. That's a bunch of BS, if you ask me. Anyway, so we'll just say any land that doesn't produce mana breaks color pie. Good land's supposed to add mana. It's the whole point of being colorless. A colorless land, that is. Tarmogoyf because it's blue. Haha, we got a little something for you there. Classic Tarmogoyf. And now the joke is that this probably is a green card, but it only saw play in like mostly blue decks. Just how it ended up. Where's this nice background song from? I don't know which one you're talking about. This is all Animal Crossing's music. The last song was Animal Crossing's 1 PM City Folk, and the current one is Animal Crossing's 1 PM. I don't know which version of Animal Crossing's. If you love this music, go just look up Animal Crossing's on YouTube. All right, what's next here? We've got Michael Crawford with Painter's Servant. Okay, another gag card. A card that breaks the color pie because it just changes the colors to whatever they want. Why am I seeing Sundering Titan from you all? How does this break the color pie? It's just it's just an artifact that blows things up. Anyway, I don't accept it. I saw it a few times in chat. All right, Karsten MTG, Hollowed Ground maybe. Maybe. Well, let's go take a look. We have an enchantment for a white and 1 generic. White, return target non-snow land you control to its owner's hand. I actually don't know who this ability would belong to, but definitely this is not something white does. When do they return anything to their hand? That's such a bizarre ability. I guess sometimes white comes into play and might return another creature back to its hand. I think maybe. Return target non-snow land you control. This actually seems like a terrible card. This should be on like the top 10 worst Magic the Gathering card list. Anyway, yeah, totally acceptable. Loves the arts. You must be a huge fan of what's his face? Bob Ross. Got that little cabin in the middle of nowhere with the mountain and the big tree. The big tree for all the Bob Ross fans out there. He always had to have that big tree. He always mentioned like, you guys tell me sometimes that ruins the picture. Okay, what do we have here? Mar Hathor, Shepherd Adventure. Sounds like the name of some religious game on DOS. Shepherd Adven. Am I spelling this right? Shepherd Adventure? Is it Shepherd's right? Shepherd something. I don't have the card. Sorry, this is not the right card. We got nothing here. Jess! Imp's Mischief. We got black 1 generic instant. Change the target of target spell with a single target. You lose life equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Yup, that's a blue thing. Black stealing blue's thunder here over here. I love those effects. I wish they printed more of this. There's really not that much of this ability in Magic. Like, we don't have anything. Do we even have something at 2 mana for blue? Holy crap! This is an expensive card. Oh, you can't see the it's like it's $28. This is a $28 card, and with good reason. Change the target spell with a single target. You lose life. I love this card. I love these effects. You want to blow up my creature? No, blow up your creature. F off. Is this Death Shadow playable? Could be. That's a beating. That's like a huge 2-for-1 in the right matchup. Huge tempo swing too. Yeah, I don't know if anyone knows this card. I didn't even know this card exists. I'm just learning about it today. All right, Ascantia, Temporal Extortion. We're gonna extort the temporal. Oh, we did this one, yeah. It's a good one. Monocle Rogue, Witch Hunter. Oops. The Witch Hunter, for a white 2 generic. We've got a 1/1 human cleric. Tap, deal 1 damage to target player. Not a very white thing to do. Oh, you're pinging me. Since when did white ever do that? And then white 1 generic. Tap, return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Also not a white thing to do. So you stole red, you stole from red, and you stole from blue. That is completely breaking the color pie. The Witch Hunter. Alright, what else do we have here? We did Death Grip already. Limer, Word of Binding. We didn't do that one. Word of Binding. Black X, Sorcery. Tap X target creatures. Absolutely breaks the color pie. Yep. That's a blue thing. That's a blue thing. That is so weird, actually, to see that in a black card. How old is that? That's from the Dark? It's from these days. This looks like Carnage to me, in some sense. Does anyone else see that? I see it. Give us your review of Venom versus Carnage in the comment section. I actually haven't seen it. You know what? They like posted the end fight on YouTube. I watched it. I'm like, okay, I basically have seen the movie. If it's worth seeing, let me know. I'll watch the rest of it. I was a huge Carnage fan when I was a kid. Armageddon with the super chat bind. Good old bind. Green 1 generic. Counter target activated ability. Draw a card. That is literally a blue card with a green mana cost. Completely breaks the color pie. Super big time. Chilled Gaming with Goblin Flotilla. Or sorry, Flotilla. I don't know what a flotilla is. Okay, red 2 generic. Summon Goblins. It's a 2/2 with Island Walk. That's a bit bizarre. Why? Because he's got a boat. At the beginning of okay, I can't read this nonsense. Okay, it's got Island Walk. At the beginning of each combat, unless you pay a red, whenever Goblin Flotilla blocks or becomes blocked by a creature this combat, that creature gains first strike until end of turn. Unless you pay red, whenever... Oh, so I have to pay a red to get rid of their first strike? That creature gains first strike until end of turn. That's a weird card. I don't even know if this really breaks the color pie. I don't even know whose card this is. This ability is very unique. Nobody has this. I'm paying mana to prevent another creature from getting first strike. Anyway, very bizarre card. I won't rate it because I have no judgment here. Cosmic Seeds. Ether Membrane is gross. Oh, I think... Did we see this one? Okay, red 1 generic. Defender 0/5. Reach. When Ether Membrane blocks a creature, return that creature to its owner's hand at end of combat. I think that breaks the color pie. I know it's a very, very bizarre card. Red don't bounce anything. Although they're not forced to bounce anything. That's like you have to attack into this membrane. Blue Bomber. The Black Anthem, Bad Moon. I think that's fine though. I think every color had something like this. Even blue had something like this. Like it was something they gave everybody. I actually don't think it's all that off of the color pie in my opinion. Or you guys let me know. Is it weird that black has an anthem? I thought everyone has an anthem. White had Crusade, black had Bad Moon, blue has one and has cumulative upkeep. Maybe green doesn't have one. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this does break the color pie. Who does this even belong to? Or is this just like, this only belongs to white? You know, back then, white and black, they shared their abilities. Maybe by today's standards, they don't. All right, what do we have here? WA does Lapse of Certainty. White 2 generic instant counter target spell. All right, I'm sold as it is. If that spell is countered this way, put it on top of its owner's library instead of into that player's graveyard. So a memory lapse in white. Hence why it's called the Lapse of Certainty. Richard, Sarah Paragon. White 2 generic Angel, 3/4 flying. Once during each of your turns, you may play a land from your graveyard. Okay, that sounds like a very green thing, to be honest. Or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. Sounds like a black thing. If you do, it gains whenever this permanent is put into a graveyard from the battlefield. Exile it, and you gain 2 life. That is a bit weird. This is a very new card, and to some degree, I agree. This doesn't feel like a white card at all. Bizarre thing. How is Gamble not a red thing? I think Gamble's totally red. So they had to give everybody a tutor, and when it came to red, it was random. They finished the tutoring cycle. Brian with the super chat. Natural selection. It's bizarre. It is bizarre. Looks like something from some weird dream I had. Alright, so a green instant. Look at the top 3 cards of any player's library. You may opt to rearrange those cards or shuffle the entire library. So it's like a ponder without the ponder. Yeah, it completely breaks the color pie. Green, don't do that. Well, this is an interesting suggestion. High Tide. It's very flavorful, but this is not really a blue thing, is it? We don't double the mana in blue. Until end of turn, whenever a player taps an island for mana, that player adds a blue to his or her mana pool. You know what? I never thought about it, but that actually, I think, breaks the color pie. Very flavorful, like, you know, High Tide, more, I don't know, water. Hence, you should get more energy from them islands. Was there a Godzilla one? Hold on, let me look back. Oh, Josh, thank you very much for the super chat. Godzilla, Doom, Inevitable. Okay, so this is just Yadardo, Wandering Monster, but we got red 5 generic, Dinosaur Turtle. Is it really a turtle? Sure, whatever. Trample and Haste. All right, that's fine. Cycling, that's fine. When you cycle Yadardo Wandering Monster, shuffle it into your library from your graveyard. If you cycled a card named Yadardo Wandering Monster 4 more times this game, put it onto the battlefield from your graveyard instead. I don't know. I can't be a judge of this one. I guess that is not. I don't know who that ability belongs to. If you cycled the same card 4 times in the game, you get to put it from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's a very, very unique card. Anyway, I don't know if this breaks the color pie or not, so I'll just leave it at that. King Ginger with the Elephant Grass. Green, cumulative upkeep 1. Black creatures cannot attack you. Non-black creatures cannot attack unless their controller pays an additional 2 for each attacking creature. That's interesting. Black creatures are not allowed to attack, period. But everyone else can. This is a very white thing, and maybe a little bit of blue. You know, like a ghostly prison-like. So anyway, this breaks the color pie. Colorless is not a color, but has a lot of broken cards. It does. It doesn't feel very Godzilla-y? I guess? That's not really the point of this show today. It's a flavor fail. It's a complete flavor fail. If that's a turtle, then Shivan Dragon is a cat monkey. Here, here, Scrappy. Here, here. Piracy Charm. Piracy Charm for 1 blue. Something you get Island Walk. That's fine. That's fine. Whoops. Target creature gets +2/-1 until end of turn. That is not fine. That is not a blue thing. And target player discards a card. Absolutely not. So in the end, this card breaks the color pie. We got Cowet. Pursuit of Knowledge is a blue card in disguise. The Pursuit of Knowledge. White, 3 generic for an enchantment. Skip drawing a card. The hell does that mean? Okay, hold on. I read enough. We're going to look at the Oracle text. If you would draw a card, you may put a study counter on Pursuit of Knowledge instead. Remove 3 study counters from Pursuit of Knowledge. Sacrifice Pursuit of Knowledge. Draw 7 cards! Holy moly! Card draw in white? Cannot be. Breaks color pie. Michael with Illusions of Grandeur. Oh, yeah. How grand it is. Alright, enters the commutative upkeep of 2. But when it enters the battlefield, you gain 20 life. Life gain in blue? That's broken. It's also not within the color pie whatsoever. Will says Final Fortune, but honestly it breaks it in the very best ways. I think Final Fortune is fine. I think. Or, okay, I guess, you know what? Within the flavor of the show, yeah. Red does not take extra turns. They get extra combat steps. They get extra... Okay, they get extra combat steps, but they don't get extra turns. So it does break the color pie. Zenith Gaming, last chance. This is your last chance. At a Final Fortune-like card, take an extra turn at the beginning of end step, lose the game again. They're not very expensive. Last Chance and Dominaria Remastered is like $1. But if you want the Portal one, it's like $41. Very weird. What's the... So this is like $1. And it's way more expensive. Actually, it's $3.50. Sorry. My apologies. This is the coolest picture for Last Chance, in my opinion. Christopher with the Petra. The Petra Sphinx. What going on here with Petra Sphinx? White, 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 2 generic Sphinx, a 3/4 creature. Tap, target player names a card, then reveals the top card of his or her library. If that card is the named card, that player puts it into his or her hand. If it isn't, the player puts it into his or her graveyard. Target player names a card, then reveals the top card of his or her library. This is a weird card. Definitely not white, though. This is like, I don't know, black, blue. Yeah, not white, though. It's like a weird milling / draw. Why would you even want to do this? Oh, you can name the card. You're kind of trying to get some card draw out of it. Okay, got it. Target player, not target opponent. Opponent. Okay, Francis C. with the super chat. Representing colorless, Skull Clamp or Sword. Okay, look at Skull Clamp. Who's ever seen so much card draw on an artifact before? It's hard to define, like, what is within the color pie of colorless, though. That's for sure. Abso with the Floodgate. Did we look at this one? Oh, we didn't. This is an interesting one. Blue 3 generic. It's a wall. It's a 0/5 wall. If Floodgate gains flying, bury it. Okay. If Floodgate leaves play, It deals to each non-blue creature without flying 1 damage for each 2 islands you control. What a bizarre ability. If it ever gains flying, it like blows up. Oh, so the idea is like give it flight, it like dies, and then if it leaves, just destroy the stupid creature. Anyway, that's a really awkward workaround card. Definitely not blue though. Never has been, never would. Michael with Sun Quan, Lord of Wu, seems way more of a white card. Blue, 4 generic. Creatures you control have horsemanship. Okay. I can give you that one. Mr. Very Smart, Squee Goblin Nabat. Why? Okay, hold on. Actually, let's analyze this. Could be one of those cards that got institutionalized into Magic the Gathering, and we never thought twice about what it actually did. Red 2 generic. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may return Squee Goblin Nabat from your graveyard to your hand. That does feel like a really black thing to do. And not a red. Like, does any other red card have this ability? It doesn't. This is a very bizarre thing. So yeah, I agree. I think it breaks the color pie. But it's such a Squee thing at this point. If Squee goes anywhere, it comes back. Don't hate on Squee. I'm not hating on Squee. I'm just saying this is not really a red thing. It's a black creature in disguise. Herbert. Thank you very much, Herbert. Zur's weirding paying life in blue. What, Zur the Enchanter? Zur the... Oh, hold on, Zur weird. Is it Zur weirding? Oh, Zur's. This is an actual card. Okay, blue 3 generic. Players play with their hands revealed. That's a blue thing. It's a very blue thing. And then if a player would draw a card, he or she reveals it instead, which of course they would do. Then any other player may pay 2 life. If a player does, put that card into its owner's graveyard. Otherwise, that player draws the card. I'm going to give it the no. I think this is a blue enough thing to do. I think the second ability is a bit strange, but revealing cards and manipulating draw steps is a very blue thing. In fact, that's what blue is all about. It's the mind manipulation. In your library is like your mind. This is your mind on Zur's weirding. Yeah, that's blue enough. Gabber, Tendrils of Corruption. Life gains damage and land control. The Tendrils of Corruption. Black 3 generic. Instant. Tendrils of Corruption deals X damage to target creature, and you gain X life, where X is the number of swamps you control. How is this not a black card? Deals damage. This is like, they've made a million black cards like this in the past. I think it's very black. And also it has to be equal to the number of swamps you control. It's very similar to, not Drain Life, Corrupt? Yeah, I think this is the same card, because they made a card like this before called Corrupt. I think it's, there it is. It's like 6 mana. Deals damage to any target equal to the number of swamps you control. Yeah, drain and equal to swamps is very black. The drain and gain. Big Leedy Life Force. Oh, maybe we saw this one already. Yeah, we looked that one. Counter spells in green. Blah. Very, very not green. Dick! Debt of Loyalty comes out of nowhere in a white deck. Be loyal. We got the white 1 generic instant. Regenerate target creature. Gain control of that creature. Whoa! That is... Whoa! What happened here? That does come out of nowhere. Okay, we got regenerate, which is a very green thing. And then you gain control of the creature. That's very blue. Just completely ruined on both fronts. You know what? Black used to be the color that added a bunch of mana. It breaks the color pie by today's standards, but like for half the history of Magic the Gathering, adding mana through black was a very normal thing. Honestly, it was like it was a black thing, then red stole it, and now it's a red thing because we see all those red rituals. I don't know why that's the case. And they're buddies, right? Rakdos are totally buddies. I think black could still add things. But I think historically this doesn't really break the color pie. By today's standards, it does. They don't let black do this anymore. It's a very red thing to do now. It's so red to add to ritual, you know? Red's rituals. Black creatures were too good. Red's creatures were too crappy. They can have it. Niels Nielsen. Haven't seen you in a while, unless you're a different Niels Nielsen. Seems like a mimic card. Oh, I thought you were suggesting a card. Francis, Angel of Glory's Rise. That's maybe, do you know what? I'll accept that. Angel of Glories. That's a massive reanimator card in white. Angel. It's not Angles of Glory's Rise. Or maybe it's just Angel of Glory. Angel of Glory's Rise. White, 5 generic. Flying and enters the battlefield. Exile all zombies. Totally white. Then return all human creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Not very white, in my opinion. Or am I wrong? Hold on. Maybe white does do this more often than I think. They've got cards like Return to the Ranks. Yeah, maybe this doesn't fit. Maybe white now is like one of those types that like bring back soldiers. Gabriel says, what? That's pure white. I forgot about cards like Return to the Ranks. Yeah, I forgot about this stuff. Return cards back from the graveyard to the battlefield. On your feet, soldier. Doesn't feel very white, but you know what? This is just something that they do these days. White is one of the reanimator colors. All right, I've stood corrected. White is a reanimator. Do you know what? This is a good one. Tybalt's Trickery. It's actually not clear that red should do any of this. Counter target spell already breaks the color pie. Then you choose 1, 2, or 3 at random. Okay, this one is within red. It's just the countering the card is not. So you know, there are like Transmorgify, Creativity. Those cards do like, you know, have a polymorph-like effect, but they don't counter. They're not a countering thing. Blightsteel Colossus for Infect? I think that's within the color pie. Colorless can have Infect. There's a lot of colorless cards. It's a Phyrexian thing, for crying out loud. They be Phyrexians. Arikusu with a Groundbreaker. Because it sacks. Oh, is that not a green thing? Trample and Haste? Trample is a green thing. Haste is a green thing. Sort of. At the end of turn, sacrifice Groundbreaker. Okay, I'll allow it. I don't actually know how many cards in green sack at end of turn, but I'll allow it. And it was made in Planar Chaos, so, you know, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Okay, a lot of people actually mentioned Guttural Response. Guttural Response. I got a response. You're going to the gutter. Okay, it's a hybrid of Gruul. Counter target blue instant spell. Okay, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Planar Chaos shouldn't count. Well, then the show would suck for today if we didn't allow it. We have to allow it. Haste is not. Green has haste. Green has haste, people. Come on. They have a lot of haste creatures. There's like... I could make a whole show out of green haste creatures. That's not a legally binding contract. I'm not doing that. Haste is very secondary. But they do it. They do it. Yeah, Questing Beast. Yeah, look at Questing Beast for haste. Darkness! Darkness. Who would want to steal Fog? Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt this turn. Totally not a black thing. Very weird thing. If anything, they should have given this to blue. I think blue would make better use of Fog. Oh, sorry, no, that's not. Sorry. I'm thinking of the actual word Fog. Blue should have been Fog. That's okay. Anyway, Darkness. Not very good. Dark Deal. Black, 2 generic. Each player discards all cards in his or her hand, then draws that many cards -1. That's a very blue thing, isn't it? That's like a very windfall-like card. So I'll definitely allow that one. Helionaut, mana stuff in white. Helionaut. We got white 2 generic. Soldier, 1/2 flyer. It's a flying. No, it doesn't add mana, it filters. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I think that's fine. It's a filter. It doesn't, it's not if it was mana ramp, I think that would be a problem, but actually I think filtering mana. Actually, honestly, I don't know if white is a filtering color. So maybe this still doesn't count. Not sure though. Wall of Omens is totally fine. White has some card draw, but not. Or I don't. Are we gonna count Wall of Omens? They say white shouldn't have any card draw. There's the card draw right there. Sure, we'll let it happen. All right. You heard the music. That means it's the end of the show. I hope you had a lot of fun, though. And you want to have a lot of fun, as we do every morning on Coffee and MTG, you gotta be here. So we do this Monday to Friday, 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks so much, everyone, for your super chats. Everyone who's a member on YouTube, but also a patron on Patreon. I really appreciate it. And because of that, hey, I never miss a show. We're going to keep it going. We got to keep that coffee running, keep the tap flowing. Make sure that coffee pot is always full. So, as usual, I have no show without you guys, so thank you very much. King Jinner, Mark Zilla, Francis Burning Paper Sun, bruh! We got Raznab, Alpha Skag, FW, Shogo, Niels, Happy Mouse, Zik, TJ does music. Without you guys, I've got no show, so thank you very much for showing up in the morning. And as usual, keep brewing up those coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.